And the unemployment rate nationwide is sitting at 4.3% as of August, a little lower in Texas at 4.1%, but higher in El Paso at 4.9%. Workforce Solutions Borderplex is continuing its work and operating through uncertainty with federal cuts and the government shutdown. They're one of 28 public workforce development boards in Texas, serving the 6-county Borderplex region, a nonprofit personalizing the career path and connecting the right people to the right jobs. And joining us now is Leila Melendez, the CEO of Workforce Solutions Borderplex. Ms. Melendez, thank you so much for taking the time and joining us here on the program today. Workforce Solutions Borderplex, it's been around for a while now, but in recent years, how has the mission kind of changed and maybe evolved to kind of better serve the community and certainly maybe some of the trends that you're seeing right now in today's workforce?
Hi, Andy. Thank you for having us. I'm happy to share a little bit about what we've learned and adapted to over the last several years. So COVID really did force us and teach us how to be much more in demand and much more accessible to our customers. So in the last several years, we've really relied on a lot of other community partners, what we are calling our power partners, to provide better access to our employment and job services, more at a neighborhood-centric level, not necessarily just at our typical workforce centers. Those are still very much operational, but we are also spreading out into more neighborhoods using in partnership with other community partners like Project Amistad and some others. And this is all across the region as well. But some of the things the trends that we are seeing, especially in the last year, is what we are seeing right now, and you alluded to the unemployment rate, is there's this little bit of a cooling in the labor force right now, in the labor market, that we're seeing. Employers are not necessarily hiring a lot of people. There's more people looking for work. Employers are not hiring very much, but they're also not firing. They're pretty much staying status quo right now. I think we're seeing this bit of an uncertainty in the economy happening. So businesses are not letting go of their internal talent, but they're also not hiring at a fast pace. So the people that we are seeing looking for work, that number is climbing, and we certainly always see that number climb and gearing up for the holiday season. So we're really looking to see and hope that employers start to create some jobs in anticipation of the holiday trend. But that's what we're seeing right now. But as far as like how we provide services to those job seekers, we are continuing to ask to help them level up, providing job readiness workshops that people can find access to through our website. And so we want to make sure job seekers and employers are constantly learning and upskilling and improving themselves to make them much more competitive.
And you kind of alluded to it there. You work with more than just individuals who are seeking, say, a job or a career. You work with different organizations, businesses, small businesses in particular, as well as initiatives that are kind of being put forth. Again, give us kind of the full scope of Workforce Solutions Borderplex, how you're making a difference in our community, but more specifically, how do you measure success?
So we measure success with either helping people get a job, helping people get a better job, or helping people get a career. We measure our success by helping people get a job, and then a job that pays at least a living wage. Those are our markers, because we want people to be self-sustaining as soon as possible. So the soonest that we can get them into a job, but then a job that pays them well and gets them on their feet, that's what we want. But we provide a lot of wraparound services to help individuals not just get that job, but stabilize and thrive from there. So we help individuals, like I said, with leveling up, access to post-secondary credentials. So something that is sometimes misunderstood is anything after high school is considered college, including a short-term certificate, a trade certificate. We help individuals get access and access to that short-term training. And then we also provide those wraparound services. We help a lot of families obtain access to childcare in order for them to go back to school or get a better job. So there's a lot of different layers of support that we provide to individuals, not just a cycle of employment. We want to help them level up and always get better along the way.
And your funding, of course, it comes from state and federal resources. With everything going on right now, from the government shutdown to a lot of the different cuts that we've seen over the last year, how has Workforce Solutions Borderplex been impacted? How do you ensure that these funds that you're receiving are being used in the most efficient and, of course, impactful way possible?
Absolutely. That's been something that we have been working on for many years, not just recently, is to rely on other organizations, philanthropic partners, private sector partners to leverage that funding and not just rely on the public sector money. But we rely on funds from the community as well. And so we braid that funding so that when something goes away, we have a fallback. But we did actually see a small cut this year from all of the different programs that we run. There's a lot, like a long list. Some of those did get some cuts as a result of the new administration. So we have to kind of scale back. And what that means is we have to just make different decisions. So because our funding is limited and we have just a little bit less resources, we have to be much more strategic. Is what is the highest and best use of our funding, and use it as an investment. So we want to use it as a way to build people up so that they can have a better job, create much more income for themselves, and create a return on our investment. So we measure all of that with data. We pay very close attention to those types of hot jobs that will create a higher wage that individuals can create, and contribute to the economy. So those are the decisions that we have to make year after year.
I know another big one for your organization is working with partners to connect transitioning military personnel and their spouses to civilian jobs in our region. What does that effort look like, especially in a community like El Paso, with Fort Bliss being one of our closest neighbors?
We are really proud of our relationship with Fort Bliss. We are one of the few workforce boards in the country that has an actual job office and a job center on post. So we are inside the gate, and that is fully staffed. So individuals that are transitioning out go through this office, and we talk to them and talk to them about the different types of jobs available in El Paso and the education programs and certificates available to them, and work experience opportunities that we can bridge them in hopes of keeping them here. So we have a lot of employers that really want to retain that talent. So we are that middleman, and we provide that access to that education. These individuals are very highly skilled. They've been working in the military. They are ready to get into the civilian workforce. So they might just need some work experience in the private sector, and then also maybe a short-term credential like in project management or in human resources or what have you. And so we provide them access to that training, and then we also match them with those employers and put them into a work experience program. So we have been really fortunate. We had a one-time grant a couple years ago from the federal government, and we have served over 500 transitioning service members in just the last 2 years with that grant alone. We've been doing this for years. We've had that office on post for over 12, 15 years, but in just the last 2 years with this dedicated grant, we've helped over 500 local transitioning service members get access to education and local job opportunities. And so we want to continue that, and we are doing that with that partnership on Fort Bliss.
All right, Ms. Melendez, thank you so much for taking the time on the program with us today. We certainly look forward to speaking with you in the future.
All right, thanks for having us.
That is Leila.